So what I thought we'd do is spend a few minutes getting to know Joane a little bit more, and also learn a little bit more about the history of TrainLi and some of the other things we're able to do here at this company. So Joane, you started this company almost, 10, 15 years ago?
Yes, that's absolutely true.
So how did that happen?
Well, it happened because I was looking for a gift to give to Axel.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of doing so, I came upon the idea that he needed to have toy trains because it would make my life very easy every year.
And it's become very easy now.
Absolutely. I don't have to guess what it is that he wanted. And that's how the business started. It ran around the Christmas tree for a year, then it expanded, and finally it was moved outside. So in the process of moving the small track from the inside to the outside, it presented a very interesting problem. At the time, there was only one rail bender, which did one rail at a time. Aristocrat, I believe, is the one that carried it. And Axel became excessively frustrated. So he found a manufacturer in Switzerland and ordered a dozen and said, I can't be the only one with this problem. And from there, the rest is history. And here we are, sitting here with you in Reno.
And so how was that move from the East Coast to the West Coast? And
interesting but great.
Interesting but great.
The people here are absolutely amazing. The weather is much better than those snowstorms that everyone in New England is very familiar with. And it gave us an opportunity, of course, to meet you and a couple of other partners, as well as expanding the business. So that's very exciting for us. But the fact that we are here, we also are able to ship out to everywhere throughout the United States, the Caribbean, and the rest of the world.
So this really is kind of like the international global headquarters of TrainLi.
It is.
Good.
It is.
And you mentioned that you have a service center on the East Coast as well as a service center.
Absolutely. Here. We have Dan Pierce, who sits on the East Coast. He's amazing. A lot of people know him. He's very active. He's very knowledgeable. And so what I try to do is, if someone is more towards the East Coast, it doesn't make sense for them to ship whatever it is that they want repaired or sound upgrades to the West Coast here in Reno, when it's so much easier to do so on the coast where they reside or close to it as possible. And we also have, of course, a service center here in which Christine McNamara is in charge of, and she does excellent work. And therefore, if you're more on the West Coast, it's easier and less expensive to ship whatever it is that you need for us to repair.
That's great. And with that comes repairs. There's a lot of times people are missing parts over the years or things break. And I know that Axel has spent a good decade building a huge database that cross-references almost every single part known to mankind with all the different versions and so forth. So
that's correct.
You guys are really able to find those
hard
to find parts, as well as the ones that you need every day.
Absolutely. And we pride ourselves in the fact that we're able to provide product and service, not just selling, for example, rolling stock, but if there is an issue, we are also there. And we've cultivated very good relationships with our various vendors that we carry their product. And if there is a problem, we're right there. For us, it's not about just making a sale and that's it. For us, it's about building a relationship, because that's what sustains the hobby. Absolutely. Initially, because if you cannot have a trusted source to get your parts, to have something repaired, to know that if you do receive a piece of rolling stock and it's not up to what it's supposed to be, that we won't tell you, well, go talk to the manufacturer. We will be there to assist in the process as much as we can.
As a lot of these manufacturers are overseas, and it sometimes can take weeks or months,
yes,
or a year to get a part or something fixed, and we're able to do it right here in Reno, which
yes.
is pretty exciting.
Yes.
And
we're very tenacious, because we've chased parts for customers that have taken us anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half. I won't mention any names, but I recently shipped a part to someone and he's been waiting for it for about a year. So we are very tenacious. As I like to say, we're basically like the treasure hunters because we just don't give up.
And then for those people that have a train that they get, or it could be an older one, and they really want to customize it, that's a lot of things, a lot of things you can do
Absolutely.
here.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that we're able to do. We had a customer a few years back when we were in Massachusetts, and Dan worked on the project. And at the time, it was the Bumblebee that Aristocrat had, the egg liners, which are absolutely adorable. And this particular client wanted us to put the flight of the Bumblebee as a sound, in which we did. And she also gave us another egg liner, which was the Russian one, and it was Tchaikovsky's Waltz. So we do pretty interesting, customized things, and we also have gotten into the repair of Bachmann and other manufacturers. As long as we can source the parts, there we do have the capacity and the brain trust in which to do the repairs.
Um, what type of products does TrainLi offer in different companies? So there's quite a few that we have.
We do. We basically are your soup to nuts. People now have associated us with mostly parts, but that is only a fraction of our offerings. If you
That's
look,
just a part of it.
that's right. Nope. That's just a part of it. We carry TrainLi 45, which is our track that we absolutely love. It is manufactured in Germany from the brass rail down to the to the ties.
Mhm.
And reliable product. We have not had any problems with it. And our motto is basically, if we feel comfortable, and I know that you also have a lot of our products, if we feel comfortable with the product, then we are able to bring it to market and show to the clients, to the market, that this is really something that you should look into because it will last many, many years, which is basically a European philosophy. It's not like a throwaway society, you just throw things away and then you buy more. This is something that you begin and you can build upon, that you can definitely leave to your children, whoever it is that you would like to bequeath your trains, your track, whatever it is. So we also do switches, which you can see I have a few displayed over there, and sit with the same manufacturer. And also we have Teal, which is more of a custom line, and it's the closest you'll ever get to having something custom made for you.
And that's all on the track, but they also do rolling stock.
They also
I've
do
seen some of that. It's
absolutely.
absolutely
TrainLi
gorgeous,
45 does
museum quality.
absolutely. Yes, that's very, very true. We also have a new company. Well, it's not that new, but we have been representing them. It's called Jägendorfer, and we are also Jägendorfer USA. And you will see some of this product on the TrainLi website because we know that there are people in the past that had the Riggy, LGB Riggy, and they want to incorporate certain scenes, especially around Christmas time, gondolas and skiing figures. So that's something else that we do. And we're very, very pleased to see that that product can now be found in many resorts throughout the US and also Canada. So it's pretty exciting.
It is amazing how popular that product is in Europe.
Yes.
Almost every single toy
Yes.
store, ski shop,
Yeah.
ski resort has that Jägendorf line, and it's a
Yeah.
high quality, beautiful.
Yes,
And
lots of
it's-
memories also, and we distribute to Stowe if you're out on the East Coast. We're the ones that supply them with their gondolas that has their logo on it. We also do Whistler Blackcomb. We have a slew of resorts from the Vale group. So we're pretty excited about that. And because of this, we've now gotten into printing. So we would like to eventually incorporate our printing abilities to also the train business. If you're looking to have something customized, we're looking at this in the very near future.
Yeah, when we went and researched this printer, we went actually back to Merklin and LGB, and it's the exact same printer that they use in their factories for doing all their logos and detailing
Right.
on all different gauges. And so
Right.
that's something that is, I don't think anybody else in the country is able to do,
Right.
not to that caliber.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
It's very, very high end. It's bulletproof. It's not a decal that wears
No,
off.
definitely not a
It's
decal.
UV stable.
Yeah.
It is a really nice printer, and so there's gonna be a lot of neat things that you're gonna be able to do with that.
Oh,
in the future.
absolutely. Absolutely. This will definitely open up a new chapter for TrainLi. Certainly. Because I know there are people that like to have certain things customized because it holds a great deal of memory for them.
So we can customize their actual railroad name. We can customize
Absolutely.
the road numbers.
Yeah.
We can put their name on the engine. Full color graphic, photographic, high resolution quality. It's a real game changer in the ability to
I agree.
customize your rolling stock and
Yeah.
engines.
I definitely agree
And
with
your
that.
gallows. You have your own ski
That's
resort.
right, and your own ski lift. The sky's the limit.
You know what I think is really unique about TrainLi and how I got involved in it. Obviously, I started buying stuff. I think
That's
the
right.
very first thing I bought from you was that Amtrak setup.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with a lot of companies over the years buying stock and so forth. And there was you were just absolutely great to work with.
Thank you.
Axel was great to work with, and you guys really understand the trains, you understand the market, you understand the hobby, and that you're active in it. And I know that
That's
Axel
true.
had a decent sized collection, and
That's very true, and that's one of the points.
understand the trains, you understand the market, you
people
understand the hobby,
contemplating.
and that you're active in it. And I know that
That's
Axel
true.
had a decent sized collection, and
That's very true, and that's one of the points that I know to
So
people who
therefore,
are
we have the
contemplating
capacity to
entering
understand where the
entering
person
this
is
hobby
coming
is the
from,
fact that
not only
everyone
from a
involved in
seller's
this
point,
company
but also
has a
from
layout. So
audience.
therefore, we have the
And
capacity
if
to
we don't
understand.
have the answer, we just don't say, well, it is what it is.
Mm.
We go to the various sources and we try to find the answer for the customer. So I think that is a pretty unique approach, because not everyone that sells certain products, not just in this hobby or this industry, but in all others, that doesn't mean that they are also users.
Right.
Which makes it pretty interesting.
so and the new partners involved with TrainLi
Are
have,
also enthusiasts.
we have John and Patty have been doing trains for a long time. He has a great background in electronics, and he had been doing his own repairs and so forth. Warren, who has a huge manufacturing business here, and all different types of electronics to injection molding to he literally could build any of these
Absolutely.
locomotives, and so he has
Absolutely.
a great resource for more of that technical. And if anybody needs something really special, we have that huge resource, and that's a huge company here in Reno that really provides tremendous resources where we need them.
Absolutely.
And of course, I fell in love with this company, so I said, all right, I'll buy part of it. And but we have this layout here in the building with 1,000
great.
feet, and then we have several thousand feet that are outside that's been running for 10, 15 years. So
And Holly has an amazing layout. I mean, from landscaping to the detailing of his buildings, it always boggles my mind, and it's always growing.
I like it. People go, oh, do you have a train set? No, it's more like the railroad empire. But it's great because a lot of this stuff, when we get new stuff in, I like to put it out either inside or outside and make sure this stuff really works. 'Cause, I mean, if I can figure out how to make it work and
Absolutely.
it lasts, then just about anybody else can do
Absolutely,
it. So,
absolutely. That's
So-
very, very true. Absolutely. Well, we're glad to have you
yeah,
as a
same
partner.
here. Well, all right. Well, thank you very much for spending
Thank
a few
you.
minutes, and we
Absolutely.
will see you guys again soon.